Okay, uh, I'm sure you're wondering what I'm doing here. Well, I feel that I've had quite a bit of therapy and stuff, and I feel that it's time for me to once again try to do a few videos. And now the big difference is right now in what I'm doing. My hand is feeling a lot better, but the doctors told me that I have to be very, very, the problem that I was having more than anything was he has told me I have arthritis in this part of my hand, my carving hand, and I do have a nerve problem in this area. But the key is moderation. Um, I've proved to myself that I can still carve. It just takes a twice as long to do something, and so this isn't an introduction to carving every day, because this project that I'm fixing to do is probably going to take me at least a week to finish. So it won't be, whereas in one day I would be able to carve the entire thing and put it on for you. So the videos will not come as quickly, but I'm trying to do smaller stuff and things that will not take as long. And so I'm trying to get back to carving because I miss it as much as maybe you do. Um, so I'm learning more now how to pace myself, whereas last time I did not pace myself. And so I have a project here. I've been looking through E.J. Tanderman's um, wonderful books on carving, and I came across one that I just dearly love. And I love the Civil War era. I love the nostalgia, old era and stuff like that. And I love carvings like this. And this is a carving. Recently I did a carving of a black preacher, and I just love the way that was with the double-breasted suit. And this is the Civil War, and I'm a big Civil War buff. And this is the Civil War era of a uh, servant that was during the Civil War period and stuff. And I just love this type of figure um, to be done. And I added a little bit on the face here. Here's the cutout. It's about 5 inches high. I'm going to stick most of my projects now to smaller projects, 5 inches and below, or 4 inches and below, or whatever. But I'm trying to do smaller projects so it doesn't take me as long. Larger projects do take me, and I can probably only carve for about 10 or 15 minutes a day. That's all my hand is before the hands begin to numb up. So it's just going to take me longer to do these projects. But you won't see the project until it's actually done, but it may take a whole week to do it. So what I have here is the cutout of the little Civil War servant, is what I call. And I'm just separating the head from the body, and the arms will be on this side. And but I just love this. I love this look that she has to her. And like I said, I love the Civil War era. I love that era. And then, so we're gonna carve this little piece, and we're going to enjoy doing that. I want to thank everyone for all the prayers and the kind words that have been said in my absence. In other words, I admit that it has been a rough road. This hasn't just affected my carving. This has also affected my work as well. It's harder to close valves and do things like that at work. So I'm just hoping maybe, if these politicians don't destroy everything, I'm going to be retiring next year, so that will be a good thing and all. Okay, the first thing that I'm going to do in this area is to begin to bring this head down, and now I don't carve as fast as I used to, so you just kind of learn to pace yourself. We want to bring this head down. We want to separate this head from the body, to bring it in so we can begin to work on our I'm a nostalgia of the Civil War. I love to study the Civil War. Not that it is a not that the Civil War was not a bad thing. It's just that to me it's a fascinating time of struggle that people had during that time, and it was a struggle of the men who fought for it. It was a struggle of the slavery. It was a struggle of it was just a time that, and never in a time, we've always been fought a war that was with someone else, but you know, the Civil War was a war fought between the United States, and that's pretty unusual in that sense. Usually it's against Britain or something like that, but this was a war that was fought from the United States itself, with itself. You know, it just kind of fascinates me that we would do such a thing. And we had some very, very wonderful generals and Christian people and stuff that were generals back then. Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson, and they were okay. As you can see now, we are bringing the head down. It's just a period that I think a lot of, and I love to study and look at, and a lot of people basically thought that the Civil War was fought simply over slavery, but there was a lot more than just slavery to the Civil War. It was the fact that the Union wanted the Confederate to join the Union, basically, and they said no, and so basically they went to war over it. Fortunately, history books tell you only that slavery was the cause of the Civil War. It was a cause of the Civil War, but it was not the only cause of the Civil War. Read about the heritage and the because slaves were something that, you know, have slaves was not just in the Civil War period. They had slaves. And it wasn't just colored slaves. I mean, we've had slaves for years. Jewish people were slaves in the old times, things like. So it isn't just an era of slavery. Okay. Okay, we're bringing down this head. Okay, let's look at it for a minute. Okay, until we get to a point where we've rounded off this head. What happens is after about 20 minutes or more, 15 to 20 minutes, the hand starts getting, my hand starts getting numb, fingers start getting numb, and I can feel it coming, and that's when I have to stop, because it becomes then dangerous for me to carve, because and the doctor said that is a nerve that is reacting, and once you let the nerve rest for quite a period of time, then it is not as vulnerable to it. So, okay. All right. Well, we've gotten the head down now, in that sense, and it's time to end this video right now. So we'll come back for part 2.